and welcome to another Warrior Cats As. As usual, I'm actually going to be recording this one super quickly, so if I mess up or say something wrong, I did. And no, I'm not designing the cats as villagers, but if you're interested in that, go check out Tennille's Drawing a Blank video. I won't be using any special characters, so no Isabel, no Rover, no Tom Nook, just the actual villagers that can decide to come live in your town. I also, obviously, won't be using only cats. In fact, if or not they are cats will be hopefully irrelevant. And while nobody will probably end up a hippo, just because I'm not terribly fond of the hippos, I will not only be choosing pretty villagers, so prepare yourself for your favorite character to be a bit questionable looking. Additionally, I am going to be breaking my one rule. You see, usually I give Firestar something basic so as not to upset the careful and delicate balance that lives within these videos. Unfortunately, there's technically no basic when it comes to Animal Crossing villagers. Well, kind of. Goldie and Rosie have been not only promotional free villagers for the Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, but also starter villagers in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. This gives them, this weird level of oversaturation that other villagers don't really get. Additionally, there's Apollo and Jay, who are also starting villagers in Pocket Camp. These villagers all feel very default and basic to me now, but none of them can really pass as Firestar. Additionally, a lot of the orange villagers are either feminine or completely unlike him in personality or otherwise design. So after mulling over this for longer than any other character, even though I'm just trying to start this video, Firestar is Drift. I went with a jock and someone with a vaguely innocent face, also orange. Graystripe is Dizzy, another pretty basic looking villager. It seems suitable. Sandstorm is Paula. I definitely wanted to go for one of the more laid-back looking Uchi villagers for her. Ravenpaw is Lucky. Very lucky. It's perfect. Barley is Rolled. Dustpelt would be Sparrow. Cinderpelt is Winnie. I chose Winnie because I wanted a peppy character with a calmer face. She also is a bit desaturated, which is good enough for me. Tigerstar would be Tybalt. I understand that a cranky tiger might be more suitable, but I feel like Tigerstar is slightly more charismatic than that. Plus, the only cranky tiger is Rolf, and he honestly doesn't seem right for Tigerstar. Longtail would be Ricky. No, I do not take constructive criticism. Bluestar is Frita. I wanted to keep the blue somewhere and a serious face, and also to make sure she was a snooty character, and while Snooty may not line one-to-one with her personality, I don't think any other personality does. Spottedleaf is Fauna. She had to be a normal character, and I'd assume a reasonably cute one. Leopardstar is Timbra. It's important she's a snooty character as well. Similarly, Mistyfoot is Mallory, and Silverstream is Kitty. Snooty, only River Clan. Brackenfur is Kevin, because, well, look at him. And Thornclaw is Leonardo, because it makes him look funny next to Brackenfur. Brightheart is Gabby. Yellowfang would be Walt, and I understand that this is a male character, and this is my video and my rules. Brambleclaw is Buzz. He had to be someone sufficiently mean-looking. Tawnypelt would be Frita. She needs to be an Uchi character. Hawkfrost would be Olaf. I wanted him to be smug, but smug characters are largely unintimidating. I also think that Olaf kind of fits this eyelash-heavy picture of RiverClan we've got so far. And following that note, Mothwing would be Tammy. Ferncloud gets Bonbon, and Ashfur's... he has to be a smug character for sure, but the smug characters kind of ride a line between totally creepy and pretty boy, and I don't think that's favorable for him in either category. So Ashfur is the most middle ground smug I could find, Zell. Sorreltail is Pom-Pom. Running Wind is Coach. Blackstar is Rolf, who I mentioned earlier, and Tallstar would be Lobo. Meanwhile, One Star gets Joey, because Joey just looks like a one star, okay? Running Nose would be Rattle. Crowfeather is Hamfrey, just look at him. Nightcloud is Mathilda, and Mathilda is kind of unquestionably perfect for Nightcloud, actually, so this baby Mathilda is Breezepelt. Leafpool would be Maple, just sort of a generically cutesy character is perfect for her. Squirrelflight would be Poppy, because she's a red squirrel, and Peppy, which is good for Squilf. Feathertail is Savannah, and Stormfur is Jeremiah. Whitestorm is Cranston. I really specifically wanted him to be a bird. He seems like if he would be anything, he would be a bird. Cloudtail is also a lazy villager, Deli. Purdy is Dobie. I love Dobie. Deadfoot is Frank. And Ashfoot is Shari. Hollyleaf would be Agnes. I think that the Uchi personality is the only one that really works for her, and additionally, Agnes just has a very Hollyleaf face. Lionblaze is Rory, which you might find absolutely horrifying, which is perfect. Jayfeather is Kid. His complete lack of both a mouth and eye contact is exactly what I want in Jayfeather. Ivypool would be Whitney, an unapproachable-looking snooty character. And Dovewing is Olive. They both stare into your soul, and they're both gray, and I can't imagine Dovewing without the normal personality. Icecloud is Bianca. Foxleap is Stinky. Alderheart would be Bo, and I know that Bo looks a little relaxed to be Alderheart, but let's just say it's current Alderheart, not Apprentice's Quest Alderheart. Needletail would be Renee, because she kind of looks like a character who wouldn't take any BS. Never mind that she's pink. Animal Crossing is actually seriously lacking in gray designs for this sort of thing. Twigbranch would be Savannah. I think either normal or peppy would be fine for her, and I felt it would be important that she's a horse. If Twigbranch wasn't a cat, she would be a horse. Violetshine would be Tipper, because she'd be snooty, compared to Twigbranch anyway, and because Violetshine is cow-colored. Soul is hard. In personality, he would either be a lazy or a smug villager, so I decided to go with Lionel, who looks like he wants you to listen to him, with the bonus points for being a lion, as Soul was mistaken for one. Honestly, I'm finding villains to be the hardest because all of the Animal Crossing characters are friends. Tree is Benjamin. Not only would he have to be lazy, but this puppy is a perfect yellow. Benjamin is also super strange looking, which is perfect for Tree. Clear Sky would be Fang. He just suits the aesthetic while being grumpy. Greywing would be Sterling. While it's a little weird going up to Greywing and see him talk about pumping iron, it's way less weird than lazy, smug, cranky, or any of the female villager personalities would be on him. Turtletail is Chevra. Starflower would be Cat. This is how Starflower looks at people. Windrunner would be Annalise. Tall Shadow would be Queenie. Thunder would be Teddy, because he's a big orange jock. Bristlefrost is Ancient S. She's undercover, and also Peppy is suitable. Rootspring would be Chatter, because he's cheesy. And Shadowside is Rodeo. The color scheme is just a little too perfect. Now it's time for some rapid fire with the cats my patrons did not want me to forget. Leafstar would be Sally. Morningflower would be Bunny. Myrtlepaw is June. Willowpelt gets Melba. Half Moon is Dora. Hollytuft would be Cherry. Mousefur is Barbara. Fernsong is Shep. Nightstar would be Kurt. Rainwhisker is Cole. And Sootfur is Samson. Dewnose is Huck. Stemleaf would be Colton. Spotfur would be Deirdre. Deirdre? Whenever I would call her in my New Leaf town with the little microphone, I'd be like, Deirdre. But I don't actually know how to pronounce that name. It worked. It worked in New Leaf. Finchpaw is Audie. Honeyfern is Mary. Gremlin would be Renee. Mika is Alfonso. And I think that's most of them. Wait, no. Hawkwing is Avery.